Hi, my name's Nikki. Welcome to Torah Town.
Wow, that would be really amazing.
Okay, class. Everyone, please settle down and get quiet. I know that you're all excited today because this is the day that we are going to visit Mr. Shredder at the museum. He's going to take us on a tour of a full-size model of the Ark for us to see what it might have been like for Noah and all the animals that were with him. But before we go, I would like for us to go over the Bible reading for today to help us understand what was getting ready to take place during that time. So I'd like for everyone to open your Bibles and turn to Genesis, chapter 6, starting in verse 11. Who would like to read verses 11 and 12?
I do.
Okay, Edna, would you please read verses 11 and 12?
The earth was corrupt before God, and the earth was full of violence. God saw the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth.
Very good, Edna. Now, can anyone tell me what the word corrupt means?
Sure, I can, Miss Hill.
Okay, Zachary.
It means having or showing a willingness to act dishonestly in return for money or personal gain.
Good, Zachary. So we can see from the verse that Edna read that everyone on earth was dishonest and doing only what they wanted and not what y'all wanted. It was violent and bad. That Yahweh had to rid the earth of evil.
It couldn't have been that bad. After all, it was just a few overgrown bad guys that were causing the problem. I don't understand why a guy had to kill everyone. Why didn't he just take out the troublemakers?
No, Bubba. It said all flesh had corrupted their way. So, you see, it wasn't just a few bad guys. It was everyone. Now, we cannot really know exactly how many people lived during that time, but if you use the parameters of the average lifespan, the amount of children they had, and the parameters of how fast the population grows, then we can calculate that there quite possibly could have been a population of nearly 15 billion people living during that time. Of course, there's no real evidence for this, and...
Okay. Thank you very much, Jason, for that bit of information. And you were correct. It was everyone on earth at that time that was bad, except for one man and his family. And who knows who that was? Lexine.
Noah and his wife and 3 sons.
Very good, Lexine. Okay, class. Well, it looks like it's time for us to get ready to go to the museum and visit Mr. Shredder and see what things we can learn today about the Ark and more of the story of Noah. So everyone, grab your raincoats and line up at the door.
Hooray!
Yay! Yippee!
Yay!
Yes!
Yippee!
Well, good morning, boys and girls. So happy to see you all today. With such happy faces. It looks like you're all ready and willing to learn today. My name is Professor Caleb Schroeder, and I'm the curator here at the Torah Town Museum.
Hello, Professor Schroeder.
Wow. That's neat. Wow.
Miss Avahel tells me you are learning and studying about Noah and the Ark.
Yep, he was the guy on the big boat with all the animals. They even had giraffes and elephants on there. I wonder how they kept the smaller animals from getting stepped on. Oh, did you know giraffes have blue tongues and they are 18 to 20 inches long? Crazy, huh?
Yes, Tina, that is correct. Noah was the guy in the boat, and you're also correct that giraffes do have blue tongues. Very good. So is everyone all ready to get started with the tour today and see what more we can learn about Noah and the Ark?
Yeah.
Very good. We are so very happy to have you all here with us today. Follow me.
There was a time when man's evil had become so great that Yahuwah was forced to intervene in the order of his own creation. At that time, all Yahuwah's creatures were plentiful. They multiplied and were content. Many lived in harmony and flourished on the earth that God had created for them. But not man. The one creature that Yahuwah made in his own image, with the ability to think and to reason and to know the difference between right and wrong. Mankind had turned away from their Creator. Over time, he had come to love himself and his works more than his God. At that time, there were people called the Nephilim, the offspring of human females and the sons of God. They became mighty hunters and rulers. With their great size and strength, they were worshipped as gods, ruling in tyranny and corruption. The rich stole from the poor, and everyone followed in the ways of the Nephilim. All except for one, a man named Noah.
What is it, Father? What's wrong?
I've just seen more people being brought into the city to be sold as slaves.
It's like that everywhere, Father, in all the lands.
Why do you weep for them, Father? They are just as evil as the ones who captured them.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth, my sons. They are men, even as we are. They are our brothers. They are like children, needing help to lead them from the darkness of their ways.
It hurts us to see you like this, Father. Each time we come to this city, you become upset. Your heart becomes so heavy.
We can leave. There are other places we can go to trade. Other cities that would gladly purchase our sheep and wool. This place is too evil. They don't deserve our business.
How about the lands of the north? There are plentiful pastures there, with streams flowing through the rocks.
No, brother. I say we travel to the east.
Why not to the south? It's warm there, with feeding grounds for our flocks all year long.
My dear sons, throughout my life I have seen many of the places that man has built, even some very great cities devoted to the Nephilim kings. But they are all the same. I sorrow for what mankind could have been, had they trusted in Yahweh. I sorrow not for what they have become.
The cities of the earth were filled with crime and corruption. Even the children had become thieves and disrespectful not only to their parents, but to all adults. Hatred and torture had become a way of life. Life had little meaning. They had forgotten the one true God.
You're not going in there, are you?
Please don't go! Father, you are putting yourself in danger!
You can't change the world, Father. Please don't go.
I must try. If I do not, then I am no better than the evildoers. Stop this horror! Stop this game of murder! What kind of people have you become? What dark savageness rules your hearts in this ugly place?
Fall down. Fall down on your knees before our King and God.
Listen to me, O King. There is a power of mercy and kindness from above. It is a power of goodness and love that is the one true God Yahweh. And I cry out to you that he will not abide the evil that is done here.
Your God is right in front of you. Me, you old fool.
In the name of the one true God, O King, please do one act of kindness before it's too late. Release these people that you are using for your pleasure. They too are the children of Yahweh, just as we all are.
Who do you think you are, old man?
Only a voice, mighty one. A voice crying out in this wilderness of evil. Repent. Turn to Yahweh and repent before it's too late.
Silence! Speak no more. You offend both my eyes and ears. I will show you one mercy, old man. Leave my city now, before I change my mind and kill you where you stand.
Father, that was a very dangerous thing you did.
You're lucky he didn't kill you.
Can you not see that someone has to speak out?
But what did it gain, Father?
That made it no less important in the eyes of Yahweh.
Come, Father, let's do as he says and leave this city.
Even though this world is filled with evil, I take great joy in welcoming you into our family and into our hearts. Can you welcome us into your heart as well, if not only for the sake of your husband?
I can think of nothing I would love more.
Shem, my son, would you take your bride above all other women? To call your wife, to love her and protect her always, even if you must forfeit your own life for hers?
With all my heart, Father, I will treasure her always and lay down my life for her, lovingly and willingly.
Almighty Yahweh, from whom all good and love proceeds, bless this union. Make them to be one in flesh and in faith, joined together to serve your purpose.
Drink, both of you, and be one.
This bridal cup is broken to remind us that sorrow may come amidst joy. But the union of these two people will not be broken. You are now given to each other. Now embrace and be wed.
A dinner will be ready as soon as Noah comes from his afternoon prayers.
Father Noah's prayers take much longer now than they used to.
Yes, he has so much more to pray for these days.
Almighty Yahweh, please hear my prayer. I am old and my time is nearly done. Yet all mankind still turns away from you and scorns your love and your guidance. O great God of my fathers' fathers, touch me with your light, that I might know the words to bring men away from the darkness of evil, before all that is good perishes forever.
God said to Noah, I will bring an end to all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them and the earth. Make a ship of gopher wood. You shall make rooms in the ship, and shall seal it inside and outside with pitch.
That's like the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
So, class, here we have the Ark Exhibit. It is quite impressive, don't you think?
Wow,
It's so big.
Right. It certainly is quite a massive structure. Now, is there anyone who can tell me what kind of wood the Ark was made of?
I know. It was gopher wood. Don't get that confused with the animal gopher. It was a type of tree, but there might have been a gopher animal on the Ark too. They are awful cute. Don't you think they are, Professor Shredder?
They are so cute, Jenny.
Oh, I think they're so cute, Jamie.
Gophers aren't cute. They're just overgrown rats.
Yes, Jenny. You are correct. It was gopher wood, and gophers, they are quite an interesting creature. Also, Bubba, you are correct. They are part of the rodent family. But we do know that Yahweh made all animals and each have a purpose. This is a reason that Yahweh wanted Noah to bring all the animals along with him on the ark, so that he could preserve the animals he created to go out and repopulate the earth again after the flood.
Mr. Shredder, what is that black stuff all over the outside of the Ark?
Oh, very good question, Solomon. So the Bible tells us that Yahweh told Noah to seal the inside and outside of the ark with something called pitch. It was basically a substance used to seal the ark and to make it waterproof for when the flood came so it would not sink.
Professor Shredder, I might add, pitch is a black, glue-like substance left behind when coal tar is heated or distilled. It belongs to the same family of substances as asphalt or bitumen. Today, it is largely produced by heating coal. Most modern geologists know of no other source for it, but coal, tar, and petroleum are not the only source for pitch, Anyone who takes time to consult a reasonable dictionary of geology will find that pitch can be extracted by distilling or heating wood. In fact, prior to the rise of petroleum and coal industries, this was exactly how pitch was made.
Very good information, Jason. Sounds like you read and study quite a bit. Excellent facts, young man. So now, as you see, there were 3 different floors or levels as well. So let's continue on. Who would like to go inside the Ark?
I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright then, come along.
This is how you shall make it. The length of the ship shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a roof in the ship, and you shall finish it to a cubit upward. You shall set the door of the ship in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third levels. I, even I, will bring the flood of waters on this earth, to destroy all flesh having the breath of life from under the sky. Everything that is in earth will die. But I will establish my covenant with you. You shall come into the ship, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. Of every living thing, of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ship, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds after their kind, of the livestock after their kind, of every creeping thing of the ground after its kind. 2 of every sort will come to you, to keep them alive. Take with you some of all food that is eaten, and gather it to yourselves, and it will be for food for you and for them.
And it is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high.
300 cubits long? Such a thing would be huge.
It must be this big to make room for the animals as well as ourselves.
But Father, we are only shepherds. We don't know anything of these wild beasts.
And we know nothing about building such a thing. How could we cut down that much wood? And how would we fasten it all together?
Father, this is just too much.
Almighty Yahweh will guide our heads and our hands.
When will this terrible flood come, Father?
Not until the ark is built, my son, and all of the birds and the beasts are gathered inside.
We love Yahweh with all our hearts, minds, and bodies, Father. Tell us what we need to do.
Yes, tell us, Father.
Yes, Father, tell us.
Thank you, my sons. I know you do, each of you. Shem, go into the mountains where the large trees grow. Take several pouches of silver and bargain with the mountain people for the wood that we will need.
Yes, Father, I will.
Japheth, you will go south. Take our wool and our hides and trade them for poles to make strong pens for the animals. And Ham, you go into the wilderness and begin the ingathering of all the wild creatures that Yahweh lays upon your heart to bring. 7 pairs of all the clean animals, a male and his female, and 2 pair of all of the others.
Thus Noah did. He did all that God commanded him.
Miss Ariel, I'm scared.
It's okay. Children, I'm right.
Aha! Got it! There we go now. You see, nothing to worry about.
Yay,
Yay!
hooray!
I wasn't scared. My dad says there's no reason to be afraid of the dark, because Yehovah is everywhere, all the time, even in the dark.
That is right, Tommy. Your father is correct. You're all very brave children. Now shall we continue with our journey, and we can talk about some of the animals and how Noah cared for them while they were on the ark. So Yahweh told Noah to take 7 clean and 2 unclean of every animal. But did that mean every animal that was living? It meant animals of their kind or species. For instance, who can tell me about their dogs or cats that they have living at home?
I have 2 dogs. We have a big dog. His name is Percy. He is a German Shepherd. And we also have a little dog, and its name is Pee-wee. It is a Chihuahua. I love them both. They love to come and meet me at the door when I get home from school. And then I get to feed them a treat. They like to lick me and give me lots of kisses because they miss me real bad when I am gone.
That is very nice, Jenny. But you see, even though you have 2 dogs that are very different from each other, they are still only one kind. So although there are many breeds of dogs all over the world, even dogs such as wolves or coyotes, they are all part of only one kind. So Noah didn't take all of the different breeds of animals on the ark, but only 2 of each kind of animal. Now Yahweh also told Noah to bring 7 clean and only 2 of the unclean animals onto the ark. Does anyone know what it meant to have clean and unclean animals? I do.
Clean animals are the animals that Yahweh said can be used for food, and unclean animals are the ones that we are not supposed to eat. This would be why there were to be 7 clean animals as opposed to 2 unclean. The clean animals were to be used for food for Noah and his family to eat while on the ark, so that they would not go hungry.
Very good, Zachary. You are exactly right.
I know this is a great test of your faith.
Yahweh has blessed us with love in this loveless world, Father. This is nothing but acting upon the faith that you have taught us.
It is through you, Father, that we have salvation in the eyes of Yahweh.
And besides, I'm actually beginning to like these animals.
Almighty Yahweh, throughout all my days in trouble and in sorrow, you have lifted my spirits and lit my way through the valley of shadows. I may have known fear, but never despair, because you have filled me with faith and hope. And if I should weep for what must be, it is only the weakness of my flesh. My spirit sings for what is to come. Lead me, O God, may thy will be done.
What is an ark?
That lunatic madman, Noah, says that's a boat.
If it is a boat, he is truly insane. There are no rivers or seas for miles.
Well, Noah says that his God is going to destroy the world with a flood.
Why would I want to put an end to all that I have created?
What? Not you, mighty king. Noah and his family believe in the faceless God that no one can see.
A faceless God? That fool Noah and his entire family are an insult to me. And so is that Ark they have built. I will destroy it.
Oh, mighty king, when you do, give Noah and his sons to me, so that I might exterminate them with my very own hands.
Granted. But you must make them suffer first, and force them to watch as their precious ark is burned to the ground. I will set fire to it myself. Then they will know the power of a real God.
Yahweh said to Noah, "Come with all your household into the ship, for I've seen your righteousness before me in this generation. You shall take 7 pairs of every clean animal with you, the male and his female. Of the animals that are not clean, take 2, the male and his female. Also of the birds of the sky, 7 and 7, male and female, to keep seed alive on the surface of all the earth. In 7 days I will cause it to rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. I will destroy every living thing that I have made from the surface of the ground."
The time has come. We can begin to take the animals aboard.
That is the last of the animals, Father.
And also the last of our provisions.
Everything is ready, Father.
Noah did everything that Yahweh commanded him.
Professor Shredder, are Aardvarks clean animals?
No, silly. And it is pronounced Aardvark. Aardvark. Aardvarks are unclean animals. They are ugly and look like pigs.
Actually, the aardvark gets its name from a South African word meaning earth pig. Although the aardvark looks like a pig, especially with its body and snout, aardvarks use their large front claws to dig holes at the rate of 2 feet in 15 seconds, so they can quickly get to their favorite meal, termites and ants. Aardvarks have long, sticky tongues, which can be up to 12 inches long. Each night they are able to dig up termite mounds and ant nests and slurp up and swallow tens of thousands of insects.
Well, I like their long noses, like a piggy. They have ears like a bunny rabbit and a tail like a kangaroo. They're funny and kinda look like a little okapi.
Ew, gross. It eats ants. Yuck.
Well, it looks like you're all very knowledgeable about your animals. I agree, Tina. Aardvarks are a very interesting animal. Matter of fact, we have a replica of one here in the museum.
Professor Shredder, I see where there were spaces for the big animals, but what about the birds and the creepy things? Where would they all have to stay? I like snakes and lizards. Snakes and lizards belong to the same reptilian order, but they have many differences. For example, the first difference that they can be seen is that lizards have legs and snakes do not have legs, but snakes still climb trees. While lizards move on 4 legs, a snake moves by body and also with the help of virtual scales. Also, the lizard sheds tail when agitated or in times of danger. Shedding the tail is said to be an escape mechanism. The tail grows again. Snakes shed their skin, and most snakes shed their skin once a year or once a week. I study about them a lot.
Very good question, Solomon. And I can tell you study a lot about snakes and lizards. But to answer your question, it is said that there may have been nests that went up the side of the ark for the birds and other small creatures to make more space for the larger animals. That is why Noah and his family also had to have plenty of grass and hay for the animals and for food and to help keep it a bit tidy in the ark. You know, with a lot of animals comes a lot of poo, so they had to be able to keep things neat and clean in the ark.
Poo! Lots and lots of poo!
Ew, yuck. That's just disgusting.
Yes, it was probably not a very easy job for Noah and his family, but really poo played an important part. After the birds were allowed to be released back to the wild, they were responsible for reseeding the earth with their poo. They would eat the grass and different seeds and then fly out wherever their poo would land. That is where new grass would grow. So you see how all the animals were very important in helping the earth to grow after the flood and become beautiful again.
Yahweh said to Noah, "Come with all your household into the ship, for I've seen your righteousness before me in this generation. You shall take 7 pairs of every clean animal with you, the male and his female. Of the animals that are not clean, take 2, the male and his female. Also of the birds of the sky, 7 and 7, male and female, to keep seed alive on the surface of all the earth. In 7 days I will cause it to rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. I will destroy every living thing that I have made from the surface of the ground." Noah did everything that Yahweh commanded him.
Come, children, into the ark. Come, come.
So children, after Noah and his family got all the animals and all the food and water loaded on the ark, the door was shut, but did it start to rain straight away?
No, sir. Actually, the scripture says the great deep burst open. It didn't rain for 7 days before the flood waters came. Then the skies opened up and it began to rain.
It rained 40 days and 40 nights.
Yes, it sure did, Lexine. And Jason, you are correct too. Can you imagine how Noah must have felt during those days prior to the flood while they were in the ark? All of those giants and vile people were taunting them and making fun. But did you know that prior to the flood, it had never rained before? The water had always come up from the ground, but had never fell from the sky, like we know today. But once it began to rain, just imagine then what the people outside of the ark must have been thinking.
Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters came on the earth. Noah went into the ship with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives because of the floodwaters. Clean animals, unclean animals, birds, and everything that creeps on the ground went by pairs to Noah into the ship, male and female, as God commanded Noah.
Spread out. Take your torches and destroy the boat. Burn it! Burn it!
Follow me. Capture Noah and his family now.
Attack! Burn it to the ground.
Father, I smell smoke.
Have faith, my son. Yahweh will protect us. He has already sealed us in. We are safe.
Father, what are we going to do?
Watch, my son. Our Heavenly Father will not forsake us.
After the 7 days, the floodwaters came on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst open.
Look! Look at the sky!
And the sky's windows opened.
It must be some kind of trick. I am God. I am God.
Listen. Can you hear it? Water from the sky.
It has begun, my son.
Look! We're floating!
Let us gather together and pray.
It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the same day, Noah and Shem, Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them entered into the ship. They and every animal after its kind, all the livestock after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. Pairs from all flesh with the breath of life in them went into the ship to Noah. Those who went in male and female of all flesh, as God commanded him. Then Yahweh shut him in.
The flood continued 40 days on the earth. The waters increased and bore up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed so mightily on the earth that all the high mountains under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed above the mountains, covering them 15 cubits deep, and all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds, livestock, beasts, all swarming creatures that swarm on the earth, and all mankind. Everything on the dry land, in whose nostrils was the breath of life, died. He blotted out every living thing that was on the face of the ground, man, and animals, and creeping things, and birds of the heavens. They were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those who were with him in the ark. And the water prevailed on the earth 150 days. But God remembered Noah, and all the beasts, and all the livestock that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind blow over the earth, and the water subsided. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed. The rain from the heavens was restrained. and the waters receded from the earth continually. At the end of 150 days, the waters had abated. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, and the waters continued to abate until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the windows of the ark that he had made, and sent forth a raven. It went to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. Then he sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters had subsided from the face of the ground. But the dove found no place to set her foot. And she returned to him to the ark, for the waters were still on the face of the whole earth. So he put out his hand, and took her and brought her into the ark with him.
So you couldn't find a dry place to land, my friend? Oh, perhaps next week then.
I can't help but to wonder, who will learn from this cleansing of the earth? Who will benefit from this new world we are making?
He waited another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came back to him in the evening, and behold, in her mouth was a freshly plucked olive leaf.
Oh, I see you have returned with a present. An olive branch! Shem! Ham! Japheth, everyone, look! See what our little friend has brought for us!
Praise Yahweh, Father. He has not forgotten us.
So Noah knew the waters had subsided from the earth. Then he waited another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, and she did not return to him any more. In the 601st year, in the 1st month and 1st day of the month, the waters were dried from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry.
Everyone, come!
Father, is it dry land?
Do you remember last week when I sent out the dove?
Yes, Father, and it returned with an olive branch.
Well, this morning I sent the dove out again, but she never returned.
That could only mean that the waters are receding.
And what else?
Life has returned to the earth.
Yes, my son, yes!
In the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth had dried out. Then God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark, you and your wife, and your sons and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, birds and animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may swarm on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth."
So, children, as you see, Noah had quite a task, building the ark, gathering food for his family, and for all the animals to have enough to eat, as well as getting all the animals onto the ark and making sure that he took care of everyone. And it took him quite a while to do it all. But one of the most important facts is that Noah was obedient to Yahweh. He did exactly as Yah commanded, and his family were spared. So we can always learn from Noah's experience just how important it is to be prepared, but to always be obedient and do exactly as he tells us. It was so wonderful to be with you all today, and you all are just so brilliant. It was nice to get to share this experience with you. I sure hope to see you all soon.
Bye! Goodbye, Professor! See
Bye,
ya!
Professor.
Goodbye,
See ya.
Professor.
See ya.
Bye. Goodbye, Professor. See ya.
Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took some of every clean animal, and some of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And when the Lord smelled the pleasing aroma, the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground because of man, for the intention of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I ever again strike down every living creature as I have done. While the earth remains seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, shall not cease.